Hi, my name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today I wanted to talk about the future self. Certainly, there's value and tremendous gifts that can be unwrapped in getting yourself in the present moment, finding the self centered in your present moment. It is the place that you are. You're not in your past, you're not in the future, you're in the present moment. So there's value in being here now, and there are many great teachers on that. From my perspective, this is a hologram. You're not your flesh costume. You're not your label identification markers. It is a game we're playing where you said, I'm going to be this character, and the flesh costume is going to look like that, and I'm going to be into these things. But to me, being holographic in nature, from my perspective, and I've done videos on all the points as to why I feel there's evidence that this is a hologram. You can always go to YouTube and subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine. Tons of videos there, and certainly videos on the holography and my holographic perspectives if you want to go deeper. But from that perspective of this being a hologram that is reflecting consciousness is one way I would say that. Neutral hologram theorist is another way I say it. There's Heather likes words, everybody. One of the things I can say is that what we're doing with our attention and with our consciousness is telling the hologram how to unfold. And I remember very clear points in my life. I was once working at a job downtown. It was a very stressful job. I was very overwhelmed as an INFJ, as an intensive empath. And I really wanted another job. And so I started just visualizing my future self. I started visualizing, well, what does this new job look like that isn't stressing out my sensitive little self? And I thought, well, it looks like more one-on-one interaction instead of dealing with a wide variety of type A personalities. It would have more to do with one-on-one, and I would like to work with many different cultures. I would like to sometimes type on the computer, sometimes put letters together because I like school supplies. I like working with stamps. I like mail. So old school. I would like to have an occasion or some occasion to get super dressed up. As a general rule, I'd like to be able to dress casually. I'd like to work with and for people I really appreciate. The next job that I manifested was at the World Center for Gratitude. And I had an annual Thanksgiving awards dinner where I got to get super fancy dressed up. I had opportunity to dress really professionally when the Interfaith Council would come in. So I got to connect with the Interfaith Council. I got to wear a hijab and go to Muslim prayer on Friday in the Interfaith Chapel. I got to mail letters annually for our Spirit of Thanksgiving awards dinner, where I got to get formally dressed up. I got to dress casually most of the time. All of the things that I had envisioned my future self doing, I literally manifested and stepped into, and the hologram reflected the person one of the people that I was working with became my lover. The other person I was working with became my roommate. So I had really close, intimate relationships with the people there. And the focus and the mission was gratitude. It was something I believed in, which was another intent I was setting as I was daydreaming of my future self in a future job. Now, I've done this many times over. Many times over, I've manifested, because from that experience, was like, wow, that was awesome. That was right on point. And then certainly, as I moved forward in the job, I was like, I don't like this aspect of it, because anywhere you go, you're going to have some growth edge. And so I would start envisioning my next future. I've gotten to work for Greenpeace. I've gotten to do a lot of different things in this life by visioning, telling the hologram what my future self is going to be doing. And we can do this in our friendships, and we can do this in our partnerships or relationships. My future self, romantically speaking, is someone that has great intimacy and connectedness with another, and also great independence and freedom, and also great liberty and comfort to express anything without fear of recrimination or judgment, that I can be received, and if I'm not understood, that occurrence will happen with someone that is willing to understand. I have this idea and these images and these intentions of where it is I want to be heading. It's like one that came up for me in the past year or two as somebody who's been a bit of a workaholic and has had jobs where she's worked 60 to 80 hours in a given week for sure. I thought, like, okay, I know I've kind of taken this workaholic thing overboard, and I know I've been working since before I was legally supposed to, and I want to break. Been busting my back over here for 30-something years, really giving my all into this work, and I don't want that life. I want to have fun, and I want to have downtime, and I want to. So today I had a beautiful session with a friend and teacher, and she helped me to see that, like, I work about 20 hours a week now. What are we talking about, everybody? I work about 20 hours a week now towards building my vision of my future and what I want to do. And that varies, depending on classes I'm teaching, independent clients. I'm not teaching right now. So what I had decided is that I wanted to have more fun. I didn't want my life to be all about work. The challenge with feeding the hologram an image of the future self is that we get so caught up, and I myself have done this many times, get so wrapped up in our here now self. So what we can unconsciously be doing, I believe, often, is more of same, thanks. Order up, more of same. Order up, more of same. So we get these associations. Common one that I talk about a lot is being an overgiver, which I call toxic femininity. It's important to have boundaries. No is an appropriate answer. No. Take that into your day. You're welcome. So, you can have an association of being an overgiver. Well, overgiving is an aggressive act. Here, take it, take more. That is an aggressive act to not be willing to receive and to take in. And a lot of times we have that aggressive act response because of PTSD. It's a trauma response. It wasn't safe to receive in the past. It's probably still not safe, just never receive and always give out. So I don't want to negate why dynamics are often present. I just want to say it's not balanced to give. Part of life is receiving, and there are some beautiful things to receive here. A sacred moment with a hummingbird sitting in a tree is one that I received this week. Super cute life, Heather. Nice design. And that's one of the things I envision in my future self experiences, is me having one-on-one experiences that are sacred and holy with birds, and therefore I get to have a lot of that. It's really fun. It can be easy, though, to keep associating the self the same way. So one of my historical long-term conversations with self is I'm not good at boundaries. I don't have any boundaries. And this week, Spirit was like, we're going to up-level boundaries from a 100 to a 1,000. And you're going to have to set boundaries with literally everyone in your life. And we're going to jump into this lesson because you've been avoiding it. And so some of y'all may have had that topic come up for you, or you may be having certain lessons that you feel like you've been in infancy with forever, that the volume's real loud on it. And the invitation and the invocation in that frequency increase is to learn the lesson. So is Heather Feather, now at 45, going to spend the rest of her time associating herself as someone who's not good at boundaries? One of the reasons I haven't wanted to expand into my light, expand into my destiny, to create this magical college, to become the quantum woman and quantum teacher of how to influence the quantum realm, is because it's like, well, without boundaries, it's probably going to be pretty exhausting. I'll just be overgiven, and then I'll be exhausted because I'll keep saying yes to everything. And since I don't know how to say no, I don't know how to stay in my vision. And so what I've had to do this week is literally tell people no. And it doesn't matter how simple the request is. All week, the answer from Spirit has been no. No. And I have stepped in this week and said some yes to things, and then had to turn around and be like, sorry, it's a no. Forget, we're doing boundaries all week. In order for me to be in a space in my future in which I am aware and operating from a thing called Heather has healthy boundaries, not only do I get to step into it more now, also I get to envision a future that has a Heather that naturally does that. My teacher today, my friend Sam, was pointing out, like, I love to paint. We're talking about painting. I painted this painting. I feel compelled to paint more. I have all these visions of things I want to paint. And that's been stirring in me the past 2 weeks. I keep feeling, I think my Kundalini's ever activated, feeling a lot of sexual energy, which also is just creative energy. And so it's like, paint, masturbate or paint. So, of course, do both. but I haven't been doing the paint part, that's for sure. So I was like, hey, I really want to paint. And today she was inviting me as a teacher and invoking in me, why don't you paint for fun? Why don't you just finger paint? And it was hilarious. We're like in a cafe and I'm like, I had all this reactivism to the idea of painting without rule or regulation. Oh, I usually paint with a reference and I can't just finger paint. What's the point of that? That's not going to be an attractive painting and blah, blah, blah. I mean, says who? Says you. Who knows what'll happen? Just be in the mystery of fun and exploration, which is really what I'm seeking and craving. So can I see my future self painting? And sometimes painting with my hand, and sometimes grabbing random objects and painting with them, and breaking out of the confines of the regulation of perfectionism, which is the party pooper of art and creativity. That's the Debbie Downer of creativity. It's like, I gotta get it perfectly right. It's like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. What does your future self look like? What do you look like in your future as a partner, if you're one of those, as a parent, if you're one of those, as a lover, if you're one of those, as a friend, if you're one of those? What are you intending and envisioning your future to look like? I thought today it would behoove me, and so I thought I'd share it with you because maybe it behooves you too, to take a moment to stamp into the hologram, I expect the delivery of this. I expect a future Heather with solid boundaries that is running a magical college that paints with all kinds of fun and in all different types of ways. She may even just have a paint room where she just flings paint around just to deal with the moods. It's like, can we step towards where we intend to be in our future? Yes. In order to do that, we would need to give our attention to it and not be so enamored with our now, because that's what happens a lot of times in my own experience. It's like, I'm so enamored with this idea that Heather is this. Oh, she's not the best communicator, she's an INFJ and people don't understand that and they often misinterpret her. Okay, if someone misinterprets me, they're welcome to ask questions. And they're welcome to misinterpret me. They're welcome to judge me. You're welcome to do whatever. I mean, you do you, boo-boo. I say that all the time. You do you. I don't have to take responsibility for your feelings. I'm responsible and the steward of this. And where is this matrix headed? Where is this ship headed? Where is this ship sailing? And hopefully it is sailing towards more of what I choose to be. And that for me looks like freedom. It looks like more play. It looks like divine cosmic friendship. It looks like mental stimulation and those that actually awaken me to new concepts that are enlivening and invigorating. It looks like fun. It looks like the ability to take responsibility with other humans that are able to take responsibility. It looks like greater energy exchange with give and take. That's one of the things I'm looking at a lot in my life right now. How much am I giving and how much am I receiving? Let's not aggressively overgive, okay? So what I wanted to invite all of us to do this day is to take a moment to envision the way we want to hold our future self and experience our future self. What does your future self look like in relationship to your life? How often do you feed that as a design in your mind to bloom forth and bear fruit for you? Go to rarebirdmedicine.com and click on the classes link. We have things coming up this September. Blessed be.